You walk into a forest. Before you see a single animal, everything goes quiet. Birds stop, deer freeze, something moves in the bushes, then it's gone. You did that. Just by existing. No growl, no movement toward them, no weapon in your hand. And still, every animal within earshot just recalculated its odds of survival. We like to assume that's because we sit at the top of the food chain. Turns out that's not what the research actually shows. Be honest, have you ever noticed animals go quiet before you've done anything at all? You're not chasing them. You're not even looking at them. And they're already running. That should tell you something's off with the whole apex predator story. To understand why, we need to go back, way back, to a time when animals didn't fear us. Picture the scene. A small group of early humans gathered by a fire. 300,000 years ago, humans were just another animal in the forest. Nobody was particularly scared of us. Slower than a lion, weaker than a bear, no claws, no fangs. Basically nature's participation trophy. Predators barely noticed us. We mostly survived by scavenging kills, stealing scraps lions left behind. Animals reacted to us like something mildly annoying, cautious, not panicked. Then something changed everything. The first spear. For the first time, an animal died from a threat it never saw coming. Never heard it coming either. A lion looked up. A bird stopped mid-flight. Nobody understood what they'd just seen. That's the moment everything changed. Word spread. Fast. That's the moment the signal started. And it never stopped. 2019, Western University, Canada. A team of researchers drove speakers into a South African national park. Then they played sound near watering holes at night. Sometimes a lion's roar. Sometimes just a person talking. Calmly. Not shouting. The animals ran from the human voice almost twice as fast as they ran from the lion. Twice as fast. From a voice. Not claws, not teeth. A voice. Lions have been hunting these animals for millions of years. Humans with spoken language have been in the picture for a fraction of that time. And somehow, we're already scarier. Here's a second finding from the same wave of research. In national parks where hunting hasn't happened for generations, something strange happens. The fear doesn't stay. Within a single generation, the animals stop reacting to people at all. One generation. That's not a slow, evolutionary shift. That's fast. Learned in a lifetime fast. And that detail is going to matter a lot in a minute. There's a whole field studying this now. It's called the landscape of fear. Not a metaphor, an actual term ecologists use. It maps how animals move differently, depending on how close humans are. Not just in forests, coastlines, mountains, suburbs. Wherever people show up, animal behavior bends around us. Deer shift to feeding at night. Coyotes reroute entire territories. Elephants change which direction they walk when they hear certain languages. Elephants, recognizing which humans are more dangerous, by voice alone. That's not instinct reacting to a smell or a shape. That's an animal running a threat assessment on human speech. We assume we're feared because we're the apex predator. But apex predator doesn't mean scariest. Lions are apex predators too. Animals still run harder from us. So it's not about strength. It's about something else entirely. Every predator and animal evolves to fear attacks up close. Claws, jaws, a charge you can see coming. The prey animal has millions of years of practice reading that kind of threat. Watch the eyes, watch the crouch, time the sprint. It's a language animals have spoken for millions of years. Humans don't speak that language. We kill from a distance. No crouch to read, no charge to time, no warning an animal's body knows how to use. Here's why that makes us scarier, not less scary. Because an unreadable threat is the one you can't out-strategize. Every rule an animal's brain relies on stops applying the moment we show up. Here's the actual culprit, the invention of the ranged weapon. The spear first, then the bow, then the gun. Each one stretched the kill zone farther from the predator's own body. And every time it stretched, prey animals lost a little more of the map in their heads. The map that used to say, if it's not close, it's not dangerous. That rule is now wrong. And it got wrong fast, in evolutionary terms. A creature that killed from 30 feet away shouldn't exist, biologically speaking. But it does. And it's you. Think about that for a second. When was the last time you walked into a space and felt the room shift around you? Sounds familiar. It should. Ever walk into a room and people notice before you say a single word? That's presence, the same signal, running on a much smaller scale. Ancient humans didn't just discover that signal, they weaponized it. Let's go back to that forest for a second. You've walked the same walk before. You felt animals go still around you without knowing why. Now you know why. You're carrying the ghost of every spear ever thrown, every rifle ever fired. The animal in front of you doesn't know your intentions. It just knows the category. And the category is unpredictable, long-range killer. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. This fear isn't wired into animals from birth. It's not written into their DNA the way fear of fire often is. It's learned, mostly from the mother. A calf watches how its mother reacts the first time a human shows up. If she bolts, the calf learns. Humans mean run. If she doesn't, the calf learns something very different. Which brings us to the parks again. Stop hunting for one generation, and the mothers stop bolting. The calves grow up never learning the fear in the first place. The entire signal disappears. Not slowly, in one lifetime. Think about what that actually means. The fear you're causing just by walking into that forest isn't ancient wiring. It's a message passed mother to calf, generation after generation, still being sent right now. And messages like that can stop. Same pattern shows up closer to home. A zoo animal born in captivity barely reacts to visitors. A wild-caught one flinches at every footstep. Same species. Completely different relationship with the sound of your voice. It's not the DNA that changed. It's what got taught. Even your own dog runs on the system. Show it a stranger acting calm around you, and it relaxes within seconds. Show it a stranger you flinch at, and it locks onto them immediately. It's reading your reaction, not the stranger's face. The exact same wiring a fawn uses on its mother. So the fear that clears an entire forest the moment you step into it isn't really about you. It's a signal built from a weapon invented tens of thousands of years ago, kept alive one mother and one calf at a time ever since. And it's not staying the same everywhere. In places where hunting is stopped, the signal is already fading. Coyotes are walking through American suburbs in daylight now. Deer are grazing on golf courses without lifting their heads when a cart drives by. 20 years ago, that would have been unthinkable, which raises an uncomfortable follow-up. If the fear can vanish in one generation, it can disappear completely too. Animals that don't fear us stop avoiding roads, stop avoiding farms, stop avoiding us. The honest answer is we don't fully know what that world looks like yet. We're only just starting to watch it happen, which is a strange thing to sit with. For most of human history, we've been trying to prove we're not something to be afraid of. Turns out, we were right to worry. We were never the strongest thing in the forest. We were just the one nobody could predict. That should make every person pause for a second. We didn't earn this reputation by being fast or strong. We earned it by being the one predator whose next move no animal on Earth has ever fully learned to read. Which brings us back to you, standing in that quiet forest. Every bird that stopped singing, every deer that froze. They weren't reacting to you. They were reacting to everyone who ever stood where you're standing, holding something that could kill from far away. You inherited that reputation. You didn't build it, but you're still cashing the check every single time you walk outside. So here's the actual question worth sitting with. If animals could stop being afraid of us tomorrow, would that be a good thing? Be honest. Some of that fear keeps them alive, away from roads, away from guns, away from us. And some of it is just an old signal from a weapon none of us are even holding anymore. Tell me what you think in the comments. I read every single one.